Right, welcome to the video, ladies and gentlemen. Where do we start with this? DC Comics circles the drain, reveals a gay Alfred and a Chinese-American Bruce Wayne. This article is over on Bounding Into Comics. I'll leave it linked down below. Got to talk about this. This is what a bad time to release this. Comic books are dying anyway. We've got Corona-chan floating around, the flu. The pandemic. Can't say it because we get censored. And now we've got this, right? We had Marvel releasing Safe Space and Snowflake, Children of the Atom, which is a clear-cut rip-off of gender-swapped and race-bent characters. And DC just thought, I want a piece of that non-existent profit pie. And we got this. What is this? Unbelievable. Now, you might say, well, what is this all about? Well, I don't know. Who's it for? I don't know. Who's going to be buying it? Probably no one. Comic book stores are done. This is the death of the comic book industry. It is, and it's a sad, sad state of affairs. But I cannot see them recovering from this. I simply can't. So, it's just... why? This is the question I ask myself. Why? Why are you doing this? So DC Comics have rolled out the red carpet with a big snazzy Entertainment Weekly interview for their latest creative team that effectively butchers Batman canon. It's not even butchers it. It's just brand new. We've got Bruce Wayne becoming a cuck, right? Some weird love triangle with Selina Kyle just choosing between Bruce Wayne and the Joker. Yeah, Jack Napier is the Joker in this. It's just bizarre. It's weird. So Melissa Dela Cruz, who has written young adult novels, right? Nothing of note either, might I add. Terrible novels. And illustrator Thomas Pitilli spoke with the magazine about their upcoming graphic novel Gotham High. Check this out. That Entertainment Weekly describes as Batman meets Gossip Girl. Now, who is buying that? That's a DC Comics fan. Who is that? Who's that for? Batman meets Gossip Girl? So the interview began with Dela Cruz admitting, check this out, she's got no clue about Batman. She states, my husband is a big Batman fan, so when DC called and said, we want to do a young adult line, what character do you want to do? I wanted to do Batman. It's such a fun, iconic character that I could put my own spin on. That she doesn't know anything about. Pitilli did express his knowledge of the character, admitting he grew up watching Batman the Animated Series. I grew up on the Batman the Animated Series cartoon back in the 90s, so ever since then I was hooked. As far as superheroes go growing up, he has always been my number one. So for me to get to work on an incarnation of Batman is a dream come true. Now, Dela Cruz is part Chinese. She's made Bruce Wayne part Chinese for no reason, and made Alfred his gay uncle for no reason. Why? What is going on? After admitting she's got no clue about Batman, Dela Cruz then details her lack of knowledge doesn't matter, because she's radically altering the character anyways. Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, it doesn't really matter that you don't know anything about the character, because you've got no intention of knowing anything about the character. But that goes to show DC's commitment to their characters, doesn't it? They just don't give a fuck. So, it continues, right? It continues with... she explains Bruce Wayne is the billionaire. He's the richest man alive, so I thought wouldn't it be fun if his family was Chinese and from Hong Kong? That made it feel real. What? Why does that make it feel real? Why? Dela Cruz then details she's basically telling an autobiography of her own life using DC comic characters. There's been a big influx of wealthy Chinese people who moved from Hong Kong to Arcadia in Los Angeles, and that's where my mum lives. I'm part Chinese. My brother lives in Hong Kong. So I thought it would be great to put what I know into Bruce Wayne, to make Bruce Wayne you. I just wanted him to be a little bit more representative of my background and giving him an authentic family. He had a family that was murdered. He doesn't need to be Chinese to have an authentic family, does he? Let's be honest. And it continues, right? So as for Bruce Wayne becoming a billionaire, a preview of the graphic novel indicates that the money comes from his mother. So it's not Thomas Wayne. This is... Oh my god. It's his mother. Who's buying this? Before Marsha Dean became Martha Wayne, so they even changed her name. She was the most beautiful girl in Hong Kong and from the richest family. Few know it was her money that started Wayne Enterprises. Because you've just got to cuck men wherever possible, haven't you? According to sources, everything fell apart the night they went to see Madame Butterfly. What started as a perfect evening soon became a night of terror when they got home. The thieves were everywhere, so they got robbed and murdered in their own home. She then admits that Alfred will be gay, again for no reason, and from Hong Kong. Alfred is not just his butler, but also his uncle, his gay uncle from Hong Kong. It gives it this fabulous, crazy rich Asian sheen to it. Why? If it wasn't clear that this entire book was about pandering, Petilli details that it breathes new life into the character, especially in today's world, since we're living in the most diverse world we've probably ever lived in. So it's more representative of Batman in 2020. But it's not Batman, is it? Like, what? I've never understood why people choose to do this. You've got an established character that is an established character for a reason, and they're liked for a reason. But now you're choosing to alter it and butcher it, and then you'll probably blame the people that have made your company what it is, i.e. the fans, for being bigots. Because you've changed what they liked so much. It's baffling. It doesn't make any sense. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this down below. And he continues, and since he's a teenager, I tried my best to put a little bit of myself into the character as well, channeling those feelings of being an adolescent feeling like an outsider. I definitely wasn't a billionaire, but oftentimes I felt very separated from everyone else around me. When asked on what her inspiration for the story was, Dela Cruz admits she wanted to reinvent Chuck Bass, a prominent character from Gossip Girl. I pitched a kind of Gossip Girl Batman, and in my mind I wanted to reinvent Chuck Bass. He's still Bruce Wayne. It's not the Great Gatsby, so he's still brooding. He's still a loner. He still has all the iconic Batman personality. Does he? Does he? But making him Chinese was a no-brainer, she says. Everyone was on board from the beginning, were they? Well, they shouldn't have been. Like, is this them trying to appeal to the Chinese market? Because if it is, why are you trying to appeal to the Chinese market? The fucking communists. Stop it. Just stop it. They're not good people, right? Chinese government, not good. No good. Don't try to appeal to that. Okay? No, 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 no. Stop it. So Petilli was much more upfront, admitting the entire slate was wiped clean. He explains, from an artistic standpoint, the history of Bruce Wayne and Batman was essentially wiped clean. I wasn't held down in any way to one specific thing. It gave me an opportunity to think of this character completely differently than how other artists have drawn this character over the years. It's not just Batman. So again, Joker. This is the Joker. There's so much of the Instagram culture and social media culture with teens these days. So I try to... This is just... It's just old people going, what do teens like? Oh, they like Instagram and social media. So I tried to interject that into the style and look at the character specifically with the Joker character. So what is he like? Some social media bully? He was the hardest character to visualise and design because he's not your average villain. He's almost not a villain at all, in a way. He goes back and forth where you sympathise with him sometimes and sometimes you see him as a villain. So I wanted to give him a look that played off both sides of his personality. He looks like a grunge star. Like, for fuck's sake. What is this? He's wearing a cut-off, a sleeveless flannel shirt. He then admits he modelled the character on his own look. I had this haircut. And it's the same haircut we ended up giving the Joker. What an undershave. You looked like an idiot then, didn't you? It became a great reference throughout the process, since I just had to look at myself in a weird way. The character Joker is the most like me. So you've literally got two people here that went, let's make a comic book. Let's make ourselves in the comic book. Because that's a recipe for success, isn't it? Oh my lord! Kaylin, get on that. I need t-shirt designs, mate. Dela Cruz then details the main focus of the story is a love story. Of course it is. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? I wanted to write about a young Bruce Wayne, so obviously there's going to be a love story. The Joker's pretty hot, so the Joker's pretty hot. So he's got to be in there. That's where I started. It's a three-way. It's a triangle. In fact, there is an apparent love triangle between Catwoman, Joker, and Batman. She explains it by referencing Truman's Capote's Cold Blood. It hurts my brain. I always remember this quote from Truman Capote's in Cold Blood, where he's talking about the killers, and he says something like, "We came from the same place, but I walked out the front door and he walked out the back door." There's this feeling that they're the same person, just with different circumstances. I wanted to put that in the Batman-Joker dynamic. They're almost the same person, but Bruce has all his privilege and Jack has nothing. What does that do to who they become? And then there's a girl in the middle, the hottest girl to ever walk the halls of high school. And what does she want? So she's got all the power, has she? Of course she has. Of course she has! Why wouldn't she? It came out of trying to figure out all the desires. What does Jack bring to Selina that's different from what Bruce brings to Selina? Ultimately, you don't know who she's going to pick. You root for both of them, and there's a surprise in the end. Shock horror. She's probably a lesbian. I'll bet you that's the surprise. She probably goes for Poison Ivy. I'll bet you that is what it is. I would love to play a little bit more with minor characters that we can get to know a bit more, like Poison Ivy and Harvey. And I don't think it's the last we'll see of Selina, Jack, and Bruce either. I'm hoping to do more Jack's story in the second book. So we've got a second book. Oh my god! Oh, this is terrible. This is the death of comic books. It's done. No more. What do you guys think about this? Gotham High. You going to be buying this? Let me know. Love to hear it. Let me know down below in the comments. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Stay up to date on the world of pop culture movie news by hitting the bell notification icon. Also, this video is proudly sponsored by My Short Film Campaign. I've got a link to my GoFundMe down below in the description box. Please do go and check it out. I am making a short film. Obviously, unfortunately, world events have sort of interrupted it ever so slightly, but we're still pushing forward with the campaign. Pre-production is happening right now, and it's moving ahead very, very nicely. So consider supporting an original IP that is not garbage like this. Thank you so much. I've been Mr. H. Take care.